Hello, everybody. I'm thrilled to welcome you all here today. Thank you so much for coming to our first ever virtual open house event. My name is Shayna. I'm going to be our event moderator for today, and I'm really delighted to have the privilege here of serving as Chief Program and Impact Officer of Project Scientist, and really even more excited for what's in store this evening. So you're going to hear from our youth, from our program staff, supporters, and more as we provide a glimpse into our work. And that's going to start with a welcome from one of our amazing students. You'll hear our PS vision by our amazing CEO, Patrice Johnson. That's Dr. Patrice Johnson. You'll get a chance to do a hands-on STEAM activity and also hear a conversation around the PS STEM ecosystem and ways that you can get involved with us at Project Scientist. Now, if you're not familiar with us at Project Scientist, we are an education nonprofit providing high-quality experiences in science, technology, engineering, the arts, and also math to girls from marginalized or underserved communities. We offer summer and after-school programs in partnership with local schools, school districts, nonprofit organizations, and also STEM companies. To add to that, our programs are also available in English and in Spanish, and we charge no cost to our participants. So I want to share too that we are really on a mission to empower the next generation of women in STEM leaders, innovators, and disruptors. And we really do this by creating an intentionally joyful and girl-centered STEM ecosystem. So you'll learn more about this later, so stay tuned. But to get us started, I'm going to pass the stage to one of our amazing participants in collaboration with also one of our community partners, Raise a Child of the Carolinas, and that is Patience. She wants to be a cosmetic chemist when she grows up. And to add to it, she is also a first place winner of the Verizon Innovative STEM Challenge. So we have a real superstar here for you to start us off. Patience, will you please welcome everyone to today's event?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patience Hunt. I am 13 years old. I have participated in Project Scientist programming since 2022 through a partnership with Raise a Child of the Carolinas. I'm honored to welcome you to our Project Scientist Open House event. As a student involved with Project Scientist, I'm excited to share with you the imaginable things they do to inspire and empower women from the next generation of STEM. Project Scientist's mission is to ensure that every girl, regardless of their background, has an opportunity to experience, identify, and develop her talents in STEM fields. Through their innovation programs, they are creating joy ecosystems where girls can discover the wonders of science, technology, engineering, and math. We get to meet phenomenal superstars who are leaders in STEM, like Miss Alana Anderson, who shared with us her experience in computer science and more. We also enjoy time on actual STEM campuses like Duke Energy, Train, and university sites to build us and prepare us for our futures. I've personally experienced the changing power of Project Scientist. Before joining, I saw myself as a STEM person, but the hands-on activities, presentations from STEM role models, and supportive communities have sparked a higher interest in me I didn't know existed. My favorite memory was when we made bridges out of noodles and candy. Now I'm excited to share with you this experience for you to join our mission. Whether you are an educator on funding, partnering, there are so many more ways to get involved with making a difference. So please sit back, engage with us, and let's explore the incredible world of STEM together. I'm confident that by the end of this event, you will be excited about as Project Scientist I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patience. We really appreciate that welcome. Can you all give a round of applause or some reactions or snaps for Patience, please? We really appreciate you setting that exciting tone for our event. And we are going to keep the ball rolling. However, in order for you to just understand a little bit more about what it is that we're doing at Project Scientist, and understand the full scope of our work, it's really critical that you learn about our vision. We really are striving to support the future STEM innovators of the world. So our phenomenal visionary and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Patrice Johnson, is going to do just that. So Dr. Johnson, will you please go ahead, and I'm going to switch the screen if it'll allow me. Please go ahead and share your vision for Project Scientist with our audience. I know everyone would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Shayna. And hello, everybody. This is our first open house. And so I want to thank you so much for coming. I am technically on a 2 to 3 minute time frame, so I better make this good and quick. But I did want to say, before we jump in, thank you. Our board chair is here, Erica Morley. She's trying to hop on, so I want to acknowledge her. Want to also acknowledge our team who, as I talk about the vision, you always need a team that helps you to turn the vision into a reality. And we have a team of outstanding folks who really get the job done, including our director of communications, who this is her 1-year anniversary today. So I'm going to shout her out, Anushka, who helped orchestrate this along with Shayna to get this done. But let me talk about the vision, because now I think I've got 1 minute and 15 seconds. If you will, dream with me for a moment. One of the things that I love that Project Scientist does for me is it reminds me of how I felt when I was 11 or 12 years old, just trying things out, just experimenting with different things, right? And that childlike imagination helps me to think about our vision, our long-term vision. And so I want to invite you, as we were getting ready to do an experiment in a minute, to use your childlike imagination and think 15 years from now or 20 years from now. And I want you to imagine a woman winning the Nobel Prize, or a woman bringing the cure for cancer, and or solving climate issues, or leading the efforts towards economic justice. And I want you to think about that woman as a student today in Project Scientist. And that is really the driving factor for the vision. The vision is really three-pronged, but what is at the center of it is ensuring that girls and women have the opportunity to be bold leaders and innovators and disruptors in this field. And so I like to tell the team really is threefold. We are attempting to build an infrastructure that will support 10,000 girls annually in the next 3 to 5 years. We're adding communities such as Detroit and Dallas and Chicago, and we're continuing to support our global communities in Mexico with some other abroad opportunities at our fingertips. The second piece to the vision is ensuring that girls are not just educated in STEM, but that their confidence increases. We want our girls, no matter where they go, to feel like they can lead, that their voices matter, and that they feel confident in whatever space that they are in. So the work is also about holistic child development. And then thirdly, we think about what type of world will our girls grow up in. And we like to say, she'll be ready, but the world needs to be ready. And that means that we are not just in the business of education, we are also in the business of advocacy. And what does it mean for us to be advocating for equity and gender in our world, so that when students like Patience are ready to enter into the workforce, there's not an issue with pay gap, right? So we are about advocacy as well. So I thank you, because now I'm probably at 30 seconds. I thank you for being with us. I see so many folks on the call who I've asked for you to come. Thank you for being here. This is a movement. It's not just about Project Scientists. It's about this work holistically. So thank you so much. And I will pass it back to you, Shayna.
Can we put this on a t-shirt? What you just said, Patrice, you said she'll be ready, but the world needs to be ready. I like that. I think that's something we need to continue to quote and work toward. So thank you so much for your vision, for sharing it with all of us. And I really hope that you all thoroughly enjoyed hearing that. I am going to go ahead and move on to what you have been waiting for, which is one of the exciting pieces of our program today. And I'm going to share my screen once more so that you can actually see what is going on. So you can get your materials ready. So I might need to give you a couple seconds to grab those things if you don't have them already. But I want to go ahead and transition to an amazing employee who is on our programs team. So I might be a little biased. She is one of our programs team members, and her name is Lupe, and she is going to lead our hands-on science activity to give you a glimpse into what it is that the students are able to do, but just a small glimpse because we only have a few minutes. And she's going to have the support of an amazing assistant who just completed our scholars program. So Lupe, I want to ask you what we are doing today, and I'm really excited to transition to you. So can you start with introducing yourself and also Kaylee? And I'm going to mute and also ensure that everyone can see you all on the screen.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shayna. My name is Lupe, and I am part of the project scientist team. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Project Scientist virtual open house. Thank you for sharing a bit of your day with us as we share a little bit about who we are. As Shayna mentioned, we are going to head into a very short, hands-on activity. And joining me today is one of our incredible participants. And I will invite her on so that she can share her name and grade.
Hi, I'm Kylie. I am 14 and I am in 8th grade.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kylie. And Kylie, as Shayna mentioned, participated in our scholars program. And so we're all just very excited to have her on with us today. Thank you so much. And I wonder if y'all can probably spotlight the deck. I believe Sarah was going to. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much, Sarah. So I hope y'all can follow along with Kylie and I as we work on a super fun engineering design challenge to create a straw rocket. And while rocket building has been part of the regular classroom for decades, there are various ways to make it engaging for students and different modifications to make. So we'll share a bit more about that as we go along. And before we dive into the activity, I would just love to take a quick moment to highlight a few trailblazers, and we are just highlighting a few. So please share in the chat about your favorite person or someone you know who is making a difference in the field of engineering and or space science. And we'll go ahead and start off with the powerful three: Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, who were essential in the success of the early space flight. They calculated complex math equations for various airplane and space flights. And Mae Jemison, who was the first Black woman in space, and she flew in the space shuttle, the Endeavour. And Katia Echacerate, and she is an electrical engineer. She is the youngest and the first Mexican-born woman to travel to space. And finally, Sarah Elizabeth McCandles, who actually had the chance to meet our girls, and our girls got to meet her and chat with her. She works for the Interplanet Navigation Group at a NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And because of these amazing women in STEM and because of their contributions, the field of engineering and space science continues to move forward. All right, so these are the materials we'll need for our hands-on activity. So pencil, scissors, tape, straw, measuring tape or ruler or both, and the rocket template. If you don't have a chance to print that out, that's totally okay. A blank piece of paper will work just fine. Great. So to start and to create our straw rocket today, we will be following the engineering design process. So we will start with the asking, imagining, and then we'll move into planning, creating, testing, and finally reflecting and improving. So what's the problem? What's the issue? And what are we trying to solve? Today, we will need to create a rocket that will travel at least 2 feet when launched. So that is what we are going to solve today, try to solve today. So let's begin with some brainstorming some solutions. And here are just some examples of designs of real rockets. Just take a quick moment to observe the different parts of the rocket, like the nose cone, the rocket body, the fins, and ask yourselves if the shape, the size, the weight of these will play a role in how far the rocket will travel. Cool. And so using a blank piece of paper or the margins of your rocket template printout for the back, let's get to planning. And we do have a couple constraints. We're working with constraints today. One of those is time. So I know the clock says 1 minute. We'll probably do about 30 seconds. So we can just quickly sketch our design and go from there. So if we can start the timer, and we have 30 seconds on the clock. Awesome. That goes by so fast, and I'm sure we all just barely started noting our amazing ideas on our paper. And I'm sorry to burst that time of creativity, but I hope you all have some time later today to finish those up. But Kylie, would you like to briefly share what you were kind of working on and your thoughts for your design?
Yeah, of course. The background might get in the way of it, but it's very faint as well. See if I can figure out how to do this. Kind of a sort of basic sketch of a rocket. I also added like the angle. I have here with me like a metal straw that's like bent, like a soda straw that bends, and so I decided to put the bend towards the end of the rocket to sort of propel it upwards, as opposed to having to MacGyver my air through like a bent tip of a straw.
Amazing, Kylie. Thank you for sharing those wonderful thoughts with us. Great. And I hope we all were able to get a strong start, just like Kylie here. So thank you. Perfect. So then that means that we can go on to our next step, and it's to build our rockets. So we're going to go through these next steps pretty quickly. And Kylie is creating her rocket using the template that was shared with y'all, which provides a more of a guided experience. But a blank piece of paper also could be used to really tailor this activity in order to target different levels or learning objectives. For example, you could set predetermined measurements for the body of the rocket so the students can measure and draw, cut it out. Or students could also determine that on their own using their ideas from the imagine step and the planning step from the engineering design process. So once that rocket body is cut out, we'll wrap it around the pencil lengthwise, forming a tube and then taping it as Kylie there is demonstrating for. Amazing. Yay. Thank you so much. Great. So now moving on to the fins, this could also be adapted to fit the needs of the students. For example, trying different fin shapes or sizes, and just keeping in mind how this might influence how far their rocket will travel. So once those fins are cut out, we'll tape them onto the rocket body as well. Amazing. All right, and now we just need to make sure those fins are in place. So when you look from the bottom of the rocket, the fins should look like a plus sign. Kylie, you're doing amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, wonderful. Cool. All right, and once we have made sure that our fins look like the plus sign, we're going to take the other end and we're going to twist and pinch the top of the rocket around the tip of the pencil to create that nose cone. Then we're going to tape it so it prevents any air from escaping, and also it'll prevent it from untwisting and unraveling. And once you've secured that, you can remove the pencil and replace it with the straw. And now we are ready to test. And I'm so excited. Yep, there we go. So we can go ahead and test it out and see if it traveled 2 feet. Awesome. And Kylie and I kind of had some time earlier to create and test the straw rocket, but I see her testing it out right now too. And Kylie, how far did your rocket travel? Were you able to measure that?
It looks, yeah, I just checked from it looks like it's about, like, from here to there, it's about 2.5 feet.
Great.
So just over goal range.
Right, look at that. Amazing. Thanks, Kylie. Is there anything that you might have, it seems like it worked well, right? But is there anything that you might have changed or that you want to change to maybe retest in the future to see if you can launch it even further?
Maybe using a different straw that isn't like a reusable metal one.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know we're short on time, so I just like to thank Kylie for joining us today, and thank you everyone else for being part of this quick activity. And Shayna, I will go ahead and pass back to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Kylie and Lupe, using the engineering design process to do that a fantastic assignment. That was so much fun. So please hit the reaction button if you agree that that was exciting and fun for you. And we will go ahead and transition to a portion of our open house where you can hear from some of our experts. Before we start, I just want to share some basic context about our work real briefly. So now to date, we've served about or reached about 25,000 girls and over 500 educators through our 4 programs. That's our after school STEAM club, our summer STEAM lab, our scholars, and our teaching institute. And so far, we've been across about 26 states. We are actually currently running programs in Charlotte, Twin Cities, Southern California, Monterey, Mexico, and Dallas, with Chicago and Detroit coming soon. So we're excited about that. But as we get into our panel, I just want to say thank you to Christina and Portia for joining me today. Christina and Portia, I really appreciate all of your support. So for today's panel, you all will hear from both of them. Dr. Christina Thomas, one of our amazing supporters, a science leader and a board member of ours, as well as Dr. Portia York. She's a creative STEM expert and a member of our Scientific Advisory Council. So I'm going to go ahead and get right to it, but let me stop share here so that you can hear from our women in STEM. And the first question I'm actually going to ask to both of you, but we'll start with Christina. So Christina, can you tell us what you do and then why you have decided to share your expertise in support of our mission? And then we'll move on to Portia after you answer.
Well, I am a transformative research and development and STEM leader. And I am that thanks to the career choices I have made, that I went for a STEM career. I'm a scientist, and I'm an engineer, I'm an inventor. I am a National Academy member of the National Academy of Engineering. wow, I have invented products that are used in roads to take you back home safe, in protecting workers when they are doing their work, in factories to make things faster and in more quantities, and to conserve energy. We all care about our earth, huh? Those things really give me, I feel very proud of the roles that we have played and the purpose that we have as women in science and engineering.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Portia, what about you? What do you do and why have you decided to share your expertise with us in support of Project Scientist mission?
Oh, thank you for letting me be here, first of all. So I am a professor in my degrees in curriculum and instruction, urban educations, and I'm also a fiber artist and a researcher and a business owner. So I like to incorporate fiber arts into math education to explore STEAM education. And so the reason I joined Project Scientist is because I believe that the mission and the vision of the organization kind of align nicely with what I do in my personal and professional lives. And I want to kind of use my unique background and skills to support in those ways. I like to explore fiber arts in math, and I'm actually preparing to conduct a research project soon where I want to use the fiber art to um, determine if it would help Black middle school girls advance in mathematics into high school and then hopefully into STEM majors and careers. And so hopefully that work can then support girls throughout. So that's kind of like why I'm here today. And I thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, both of you. I really appreciate the work that you do. And although I know this, it always makes me smile even more to hear you all say it, what it is that you're doing. I saw lots of claps in the chat. Now, just to move on to our next question, because I'm looking at the time. In today's current landscape, nonprofits like Project Scientists are really critical in shaping our future communities, thinking about what Dr. Johnson shared earlier, and really setting our youth up for success. So I'm going to admit with that part, I'm going to bring in some of that former experience in STEM education and leadership, and just think about the importance of preparation for future teachers, and that kind of influences my viewpoint too. So we're going to hear from you all because we know where I stand on it. But here's the question that I have for you all. How do you see Project Scientist as an innovative solution to particularly supporting women and girls in STEM? And I want to start with, Portia, I'll start with you on that one.
Okay. So, what I've discovered about Project Scientists and what I love about Project Scientists is that the girls are not only receiving knowledge, like really good knowledge on STEM education and varying areas of STEM, but through some uniquely designed STEAM curriculum. And so, because I'm a part of the Teaching Institute, I get to work with Farah, and she's creating some amazing curriculum. And my role there is really just to kind of support that and give feedback and guidance and support in any way I can, which has been great. And so the way I see this is that girls are not only receiving this unique curriculum, but I actually see the whole ecosystem of adults in STEM working with girls. So there is the knowledge being transferred back and forth, but also the relationships being built. Because there's clearly some relationships being built among the girls and women. And it makes me think that the mission for the girls could definitely be valuable as well as for the women because of all of the knowledge and the relationship. So I see it being very innovative. I see it solution focused. I really like the direction of the organization, of where the girls are going with this organization. And I just really believe that if the organization can continue to expand, like in Detroit and other areas, if it can expand across the country. I actually heard Patrice say in Mexico as well. So it's expanding in lots of areas. If that continues, I really believe that there can be some impact made with girls. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and have Christina respond and answer that same question too. And
I just Shanna, I just love the comment in the chat that they're enjoying our enthusiasm and our, frankly, diverse thinking in practicing science and engineers. But the truth is that we need more girls in STEM. We need, women ourselves, we are serious about lifting not only ourselves, not only our families, but each member of our community. And Project Scientist is an innovative program because it brings actual scientists and engineers to the girls at a time that they're forming a vision of who they can be, But not only that, it also brings the girls to the workplace and experience what you can do at work as a scientist and engineer. So very influential for girls. They can see themselves there. They can be confident, like Dr. Johnson said. You know, another piece, and Portia said it, it's about the teachers. I sit in many boards regarding global issues in chemical engineering. And many of us have indicated that we all had a teacher, or many teachers, that tap our shoulder and say, you're good at STEM, you can do it. You can be confident that you will be successful. And frankly, that was Project Scientist all about.
I love hearing that. This creating
Yeah,
this
that's
sense of
good.
belonging and someone being there to tap you on the shoulder and tell you that you can do this. I love that personal piece that's missing a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
So thank you all. We want to make sure that we provide that as much as we possibly can in various ways. And then I'm looking here too. I'm going to ask a question of you all. Are you seeing any screen right now? No. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not sharing multiple screens still. There's always a technical concern when you least expect it, right? So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question for you all. And this one is going to be for you, Christina. I want to know what your thoughts are on how STEM companies are playing a role in this work, what we're doing, and then what is the employee engagement opportunity?
Yeah, you know, STEM companies know very well the business case. They need talent. They need girls' talent. They cannot afford passing out on that. They want our contributions. They want our leadership. They want our values in action toward their business goals. So frankly, corporations are great partners for us, for Project Scientist, because we are in the same mission. We have the same purpose. We need talent in STEM. And to me, that vision that Project Scientist has there about empowering the next generation of women STEM leaders, innovators and disruptors is something that every company says and knows they need to be.
I want to snap to that. And then Dr. J said, she said, amen. what you all were talking about. So it's wonderful to see the connection right with the STEM companies, with organizations like Project Scientists. So I'm happy to hear you say that and hear that feedback too. And the next question is going to be just for you, Dr. Portia. Can you tell me, considering, Project Scientist vision, we heard Dr. Patrice's dream, and we want to know, and we know a little bit about what Dr. Christina thinks. We want to know what you think. What would be your dream for how we impact the students and communities that we serve?
Yeah, that's a good question because my dream would be, just based on what I know about the vision of the organization so far, is my dream would be to actually witness girls traveling through this program and then securing their place in STEM successfully. But also, I would dream that those girls would reach back, like our young lady today who spoke and welcomed the organization, and welcomed the open house, reach back and help the organization and help other girls, right? And so then my dream would be, well, how do I contribute to these girls to help get them to that space? That would be my dream because I do want to be a part of the team that helps build the next generation of female women STEM leaders, innovators, disruptors. I want to be a part of that team. So my dream is to help support that goal.
Wow. And you know what? You already are a part of that team. You both are amazing parts of that team. And we are really better. Christy's on here, one of our amazing, phenomenal staff members as well. And she said, together we are better. And I think that you all are proving that right now in your conversation. And so we are actually going to shift, but before we do, and I want to thank you all for your time and your answers to these questions, but I want to ask you, if you have some insights for those who are listening, how would you encourage our guests to get involved in our work? And I'm going to go, Christina, go ahead.
Yeah, wow. You know, that's the way I started becoming acquainted with project scientists. When there was an invitation at the corporation that I work for superstars. And who in here doesn't want to be a superstar? Just the title is great. But when you go and be in the environment with the girls and you're explaining your career, you are actually doing some, like the project that Lupe did too, and you are getting the energy from them. So be engaged with superstars. Frankly, also support the Teaching Institute. Support with your time, your passion, and your money too, because we all need girls in STEM.
That's why she said all sorts of ways, and money
Yeah.
too. Dr. Portia, what is your answer to that?
I mean, I pretty much would second that, but I think there are so many ways. I basically would say join the team. And so that join the team in the way that best suits your needs, your professional life, your personal life, your scheduling, but join the team to help make an impact for the girls that we currently serve and then able to double that impact, right? And so that's the goal. It's like there's financial donations that your company can contribute to. There's maybe financial partnerships. There's joining. I'm on the teaching institute, so join a council, or become a superstar, or there's so many ways to get involved to support the organization's mission. And I think the bottom line is that it is a solution focused innovative organization, and that contributing in some way and joining that team in some way is actually going to impact the girls we serve. So join the team.
Wow, that is spoken very well. I almost don't think I need to do any conclusion. I can just end it right here, but we will not. So I want to take a moment to just thank you so much. Thank you both for your answers to our questions this evening, for taking time out of your schedule to be a part of this panel, and also thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Please continue to support us, continue the work that you're doing already, and continue being superstars just as you are. We will also get ready to move towards a conclusion, but I do want to take a moment to just also thank everyone for what it is that they have been doing. So that Patience, thank you for your welcome speech. Dr. J, thank you so much for sharing your amazing vision with everyone. I hope that it brought chills to their bones and they're excited about what it is that we do. Lupe and Kylie, thank you so much. Dr. Christina, Dr. Portia, thank you so much for your involvement. And Anushka, and all the rest of the staff folks who are on here today, and our site council members. I see so many. Thank you all for coming and for inviting others. But I want everyone to know how it is that you can get involved. In addition to what they said, you have something up here that you can read and understand for what to do. So I encourage you to get involved in our ecosystem, supporting our next generation of STEM innovators and disruptors. You heard that a lot today. That we have created for them. So you can get involved as a parent or an educator by bringing our programming to your school or to your community. You can get involved as a STEM company funder by hosting our phenomenal youth on site, by donating to our mission and engaging your employees in our programs. And you will certainly want to bring our program for educators and students to your school or community as well. You may also be able to volunteer with us. And I'm going to ask Anushka, if you could please, if you haven't already, share some of the links in the chat. If you have interest in working with us in any of these capacities, there's a way for you to reach out to us. Again, becoming a partner, volunteering, and engaging your employees in our programs as a funding partner are some of the things that you can do. And with that, we have about 2 minutes to spare. And one of my favorite statements is having time back into your day, but I do want to give the mic back to Dr. Patrice to see if she has anything else to share before She's shocked. This wasn't in the script. I don't have no script.
Now we have a question in the chat. Do you offer
Okay.
guest speakers or guest programming?
Do you offer guest speakers or what'd you say?
Guest programming. We have a question.
Oh, great question from Amy. So we can bring in, we can reach out to us so that we can know specifically what it is that you're looking for, because we are able to bring programming to various different sites, whether it's a program partner such as a community organization or a school or something else in the community such as a library. So we can bring programming to wherever it is that you are. We can work out the logistics on that. And then you said guest speakers. You can reach out to folks to see what it is that we are able to do based on what you need. And then Dr. J, I'll ask if you want to add anything to that, but that's my response.
Your response is perfect, Shayna. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions before we end our event today?
There's another question. What is the typical age range that you work with in schools?
Yes, we work with students from age 4 through 18, and we hope to hold on to them even longer if they can volunteer after that. So we have worked with pre-K. We bring programs to their schools. We have smaller numbers for pre-K students, about 15-1 is our ratio for those. And anyone who is the third grade or first grade and over, our ratio is about the same, but a little bit higher. So age 4 all the way through 18. And we ensure that we have a smaller class size so they can have the best quality for their program. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a quick question. How is the program like a year long? Is it a month? Is it by units? Is it and is there a cost to it?
Great question. So we want to start by saying for our participants, there's no cost to our participants. And we generally are serving our communities in those core areas that I mentioned earlier. However, we are open to other communities based on need and based on circumstance. So no cost to our families is the first important key. And then because of the graciousness of some of our funders, we are able to provide services to our Title I school partners. The length of our program is we usually run about 3 months in the fall and 3 months in the spring based on the school schedule. And so your students can participate in about 6 themes related to STEAM education, and including the arts, including having materials delivered directly to their school or to their library or to their nonprofit partner, to their club. So they receive everything, and also training to ensure that it is executed properly and with fidelity with our programming structure. Did that answer your question? Was there a second part?
No, yes, thank you so much. And I guess
You're
there would be another part to my question. I know this is STEM for girls. Is it exclusively for girls, or do you invite other students?
We can invite other students. So while our programming is designed around research that is supporting girls and their growth and their empowerment in STEM, we have had girls, boys, gender expansive, non-binary students. So all gender identities and expressions are welcome in Project Scientist programs.
Great.
Hi, I'm a student. I want to chime in. Sorry, I'm a gender and I've been a part of Project Scientist for I don't know how long, and they've been super supportive of me.
Thank you so much. So you heard from one of our students.
This is great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
We have one more in the chat, Shayna. It's how do we find out the cost to offering your program at our schools?
You reach out directly to us through one of the, I don't know, Anushka, were you able to send the links for programming interest into the chat? It might be in there. Okay. If you can fill out that, and then we can get back to you immediately based on what it is that you are looking for. And also we can figure out if they're funding your community based on the type of school that you are located in. You're welcome. Any other questions? All
Can I
right.
ask can I ask one other follow-up question? In terms of like programming at a school. So I work at an elementary school and I'm just wondering if it's part of a club or an existing program, is it like the school comes up with how many days per week over that 3 months, or those project scientists kind of provide like a guide for us? Right now we have like a before school program called Extended Day Learning, and a few other programs, and it's kind of set to a certain number of days per week. So I'm just trying to think of like how we fit the programming in with our existing district kind of constraints and stuff.
Awesome. That is something that definitely can be done. So we are generally, for our after-school clubs, able to embed our programming to about 90 minutes to 2 hours per week. That can be one day if you have a longer program, so one day per week. And for our younger learners, that sometimes generally split up to 2 days per week so that they can have a shorter time dealing with based on their attention span. So that's something that is flexible. We've had programming for after school. We've also had schools work us in during their school day. So there is flexibility with the programs that you have already.
Okay, great. And then it's typically like an educator already working in the building that would be using the project scientists or teaching the project scientist programming.
Yes, but that educator is not just teaching project scientist programming. We are fully training that educator how to implement this appropriately, and also making sure they have all the tools that they need to execute materials, slides, things like that too.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you all so much for those questions. I appreciate it. Please, if you all are interested in following up with us more, which you should be, please reach out to us using the links. And thank you all so much for your time and for attending our event today. We really appreciate your support of our organization.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.